So this is my first upload to this channel that's not one of the game soundtracks. I think most of the Clue crew is up to date with what's going on with Midnight in Salem, or what's not going on with Midnight in Salem, but for those of you who are unaware, let me provide you with some background. So there was a lot of controversy surrounding this game from when it was announced. It was going to be the first game that did not feature Lani Minella as the voice of Ningxi. It was also going to be the first game that was switched over to the Unity engine. I remember when they first put up their preview video of what one of the older games looked like in Unity, there were a lot of comments along the lines of, is this going to give me motion sickness? This is the reason I play point-and-click games, I don't like this. And of course, the majority of the fan base was upset that Lani was being replaced. A lot of us grew up playing these games, so it's very hard to imagine somebody else in that role. For me personally, I'm not upset by the company changing things. I realize that you can't expect them to stay the same forever. They've been around since the 90s, so of course things are going to be different in 2017. Technology has advanced vastly since they started producing this series. I, for one, was a supporter of switching to Unity, and I believe they attributed both of these major changes to a survey that they sent out to the entire fan base asking them what they liked about the series or what they would like to see altered for future installments. As someone who has thought that the later installments in the series have been inconsistent when it comes to quality, I was excited for both of these changes. What I am not excited about is the complete lack of transparency regarding this new game since it was announced what I think is 2 years ago at this point. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more than that. And I wasn't even bothered by the delay in the release of this game. It's to be expected, they have to code it in a completely unfamiliar engine, and I'd rather wait longer for a better quality game than receive multiple lackluster ones in the course of a year. However, as we've witnessed on social media, HER's priorities seem to be anywhere but this game. And considering they were a company who just sent out this massive survey in order to better meet their fans' needs and wants, it's bizarre that we're presented with something like Codes and Clues, which does not fit their current fan base at all. I'm all for them forging new fans and increasing their visibility because ultimately you want a company that you're a big fan of to thrive. But it's very clear that their loyal fan base of years is not interested in this, and they haven't gained enough new ones to balance this out. There's also the vague copy and paste answers that anyone gets when they ask about Midnight in Salem on Facebook. It makes one wonder what stage of the game that they're actually in. For all we know, they haven't gotten past the initial character bios and concept art that they released to us at the end of last year, I believe. So while I can't speak for anybody else's opinion regarding this, it's not the release date that's important to me at this point. It's just knowing what planning stage they're at. Are they animating characters? Are they having actors record their lines? Are they changing the script? They don't have to go into super detail. As somebody who doesn't like to watch game trailers or movie trailers because I like to go into things blind, I can appreciate wanting to give away as little as possible for the sake of not spoiling the game. But this, yeah, it's being worked on, stay tuned for updates, stay sleuthy reply has really outrun its welcome. And it makes me think that there's this massive checklist in their office that they go through every day, and instead of actually working on it, they just look at it, and each item, they're like, can't check that off until it's done. I haven't done that yet. Still need to do that. Can't check that off yet. And I honestly think that given their history of shelving games, one of the Dossier games was canceled. I believe they had an iPad game that was canceled, and they forayed into releasing things for the Wii. It's not weird to be worried about this and whether it's moving forward or not. And just to go back to the social media point that I made before, there are people's Facebook posts mysteriously disappearing from the her wall regarding Midnight in Salem and when it's coming out. Then there was also that whole instance where Argofunk posted the video on how to get into the cheat menu, and they asked him to remove it, and I think the excuse they gave him was it ruined the game for others. By that logic, we should be removing all Let's Plays and walkthroughs from YouTube. By that logic, they shouldn't be doing the Twitch streams that they do with all of their previous games. If anything, that was something new and fresh that the fanbase didn't know about and would help keep them satisfied while we were waiting for Midnight in Salem. So all of these things combined lead one to conclude that her isn't exactly into pleasing its fanbase right now. So to wrap up, because I don't want this video to venture into double-digit minute territory. Her, we love you. We only want the best for you in this game. But your silence makes it increasingly difficult to not worry about what's going on behind the scenes. You have an adoring, dedicated fan base who I'm sure would be willing to help out in any way they can. Unless what you really mean by stay sleuthy is figuring out what happened to this game, and that's what the new game actually is. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks to all the people who subscribed to me over the years. I apologize for not uploading every single one of the game soundtracks, but other people have, so it doesn't really matter.